Hey guys, this is Brownie Boy TV here again with your Litheo GBA Round 3 recap. So in our first matchup we had the Porter Arcanines versus the Tennessee Raichus, and the Tennessee Raichus were able to pull out a solid 1-0 victory here, and as you can see it was labeled the Game of the Week. The Raichus just had an all-around great team effort, and he did his homework and he just brought the right Pokemon. It was a really good battle, a really long battle. I believe it was 63 turns in the end, but it was a really great battle, and that'll be up on the Litheo region YouTube channel shortly. In our next matchup, we have the Florida for Alligators versus Actually Milan. This is actually a matchup between two brothers, and Actually Milan was able to pull out the win. He managed a 2-0 win. His Glade did a decent amount of work as he got 2 kills and 1 death, but Jody didn't battle poorly. He just didn't battle as well as Corey, and Corey was able to outpredict him. It was a really good battle, and it was nice to see these two battle again. In our next battle, we've got the Amphabios versus the Detroit Pincers, and the Detroit Pincers are able to win 4-0. Mega Mawile showing its real power as he racked up 4 kills and didn't die. The Amphabios I think were just outclassed by Mega Mawile. He's a great Pokemon and he's really hard to just work around. If these two match up again, I'm sure that Santos will have a better game plan going in on how to handle Mega Mawile, but altogether Rudy just dominated this one with him. In our next matchup we have the Surrey Litleos versus the Boston Red Sox, and Matt he did what he's been doing all season. He brought in his Mega Tyranitar, set up the sand, and his Excadrill just clean shot from there. Sand Rush is just such a great ability on Excadrill. He hits so hard with it. He's got the Stab Earthquake, Stab Iron Heads, X Scissor. He's got just huge move pool, and he can hit really hard. Matt, or MJ Wapel, he almost was able to counter it and use the Sand Rush against Matt by bringing his Mega Alakazam, and he was able to trace the Sand Rush, but his Alakazam wasn't able to take a hit from the Excadrill, so he wasn't able to use the Sand Rush, but it would have been a really cool idea. So in our next one, we've got the DC Glaceons versus the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Glaceons were able to manage a 4-0 win in this one. Sigilyph, who, not my favorite Pokemon, was able to manage 4 kills and no deaths, and Bogut just wasn't able to counter it. He's got that Flame Orb, Magic Guard, Cosmic Power, Roost, Psycho Shift, and Stored Power, and it's just a demonic set, and it's so hard to work around, but this game had a bunch of disconnections, and both battlers just weren't happy after the battle, because I think the disconnections might have affected the battle, it might not have, but disconnections are just always really frustrating for both parties. In the next battle, we've got the Portland Timbers versus the Baltimore Bishops, and the Portland Timbers managed a 5-0 win. Mega Scizor was just able to come through, and he got a solid 5 kills, and essentially what happened in this battle was Donphan came in, set up Stealth Rocks, and Mega Scizor was just able to sweep from there pretty much. In the next battle we got the San Antonio Shinx versus the San Francisco Darkrai's. Chris did his homework, had a great plan coming in. He just brought his Gastrodon, set up some stockpiles, and sadly Man3 Spider, who's our newest battler, he took over for John, who was the former coach of the Toronto Tarantrums. The Toronto Tarantrums have now been relabeled to San Francisco Darkrai's as Man3 Spider, who was our first substitute because he did so well in the qualifier tournament. He just didn't do well enough to make the league initially, but he was able to come in. His team isn't exactly who he wants it to be, and he was able to make some pickups and some drops and trades, etc. But he'll, I'm sure, be able to come around, get used to the team, get used to the league eventually. It's just it'll probably take him some time, but wish him the best this season. In our next battle, we have the St. Louis Rampardos versus the New Orleans Chuckles, and Chuckles are able to manage a 1-0 win. Ryan was able to use the power of his Mega Pinsir, racked up 3 kills and 1 death. As he turns able to get 2 kills, Metagross 1 kill. Metagross is always a great threat. Although he only got 1 kill, you could always you always have fierce presence because he's got those bullet punches, stab bullet punches, they're deadly. And then you have Mega Pinsir with his stab quick attacks with the aerial elite boosted, so Ryan's definitely got a powerful team, you gotta watch out for that. But Jello didn't battle bad necessarily, and the battle actually came down to an unlucky crit for Jello, or it was an unlucky miss. Either way, it was a great battle, and I definitely advise going and watching that one. Here we have the league standings. The Portland Timbers remain on top with a 3-0 record and plus 12 differential from the Surrey Litleos. Then San Antonio Shinx, the Porter Arcanines, Actually Milan, Detroit Pincers, New Orleans Chuckles, Tennessee Raichus. Those are the playoff teams as of now. And then the bottom half of the league, we've got the St. Louis Rampardos, the San Francisco Darkrai, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Florida for Alligators, the DC Glaceons, the Baltimore Bishops, the Amphabios, and the Boston Red Sox cleaning up the bottom at 0-3 with a negative 12 differential. I'm sure they'll turn around later in the season, but we just had to see some better play from Matt. And here we have the round 4 matchups. Matchups that really just caught my eye. The first one, Detroit Pincers versus Actually Milan. Rudy and Corey have both been battling really well this season. Their only loss is to the to the Portland Timbers. So I expect a great battle from these two. The next battle that caught my eye is the New Orleans Chuckles against Portland Timbers. Ryan's bringing great power. He's got drafted really well, and I think he's got a much better team than he did last season because he based it more around doubles, and now it's more around singles. He understands how to play. He understands how GBA works. He understands how to do homework for his battle. So I expect Ryan to come through with a great strategy and put up a good fight. It could come right down to the wire because the Portland Timbers are undefeated, but they definitely have some flaws in their team, and I think this season they're definitely going to get their first loss. I can't wait to watch the Tennessee Righteous and San Antonio Shinx. That'll also be another great battle. Shadow or Raheen and Chris have both been battling extremely well this season. Chris is, in my opinion, the most improved battler from last season to this season. He's really stepping up his game, and I would be very, very surprised if he didn't make the playoffs this season. And then the last match is also a really good match, in my opinion, or it could be, is going to be Nuclear Android against Jello. Jello, he's always a great battler. He drafted extremely well. His team's full of threats, and I know that he'll put up a great battle against Nuclear, who's been a pretty dominant force so far, other than his one slip up in this last round where he lost 1-0 to Shadow. But I can't wait to watch that battle. So thanks for tuning in, guys, and this is everything from the Litheo Round 3 recap.